my friends. Thank you for joining us for Kids at the PUNLA Coffee Table. With my kids, Maya, Ayla, Zoe, and myself, Kip. Today we're going to be talking about an amazing woman in the Bible. Did you guys know that there are some amazing women in the Bible? Can you guys name a few of them?
Leah.
Leah?
Deborah.
Ruth?
Esther.
Esther? About Mary, the mother of Jesus? There are a lot of amazing women, and today we're going to talk about one of those amazing women. We're going to talk about the only woman leader of Israel, Deborah, who was a judge from the book of Judges, Judges chapter 4 and chapter 5. Okay? Anybody want to start us with a prayer today? Go ahead, Maya.
God, thank for this day that you have given us all. Thank for the lives you have given us. Thank you for the time we have together as a family. Amen.
Amen. All right, so in the Bible, what is a judge? Do you guys know? A judge is just a leader. That's all it is. It's not like a judge in a court like what we have. When the people of Israel needed someone to lead them against somebody that was hurting them, God would call a judge, and he would speak to that judge in their dreams or in their mind, and they would do amazing things for him. Okay? Judges are like Samson. You know Samson? Ehud.
I can't pronounce.
Othniel.
Samuel.
Samuel was the last judge. There were some amazing Gideon. You know the story of Gideon?
Oh, yeah, we
We
studied
did that one.
So Deborah is also called a prophetess. Do we know what a prophet or prophetess is? Well, it's actually simpler than you think. A prophet or prophetess speaks for God to the people. So they deliver a message from God. So Deborah was both delivering messages from God, and she was helping the Israelites to make good decisions so that they could fix the problem that they were in. The story of Deborah is really amazing because she's so confident in God. And she lives in a culture where women weren't respected very much, yet she became essentially the ruler of Israel. So let's read a little bit of, we're going to read Judges chapter 4, verses 1 to 5. Okay? So after Ehud died, the people of Israel again did what the Lord said was wrong. So he let Jabin, a king of Canaan, defeat Israel. Jabin ruled in the city of Hazar. Sisera was the commander of Jabin's army. Sisera lived in Harosheth. He had 900 iron chariots and was very cruel to the people of Israel for 20 years. So they cried out to the Lord for help. There was a prophetess named Deborah. She was the wife of Lapidoth. She was judge of Israel at that time. Deborah would sit under a palm tree of Deborah. This was between the cities of Ramoth and Bethel in the mountains of Ephraim, and the people of Israel would come to her to settle their arguments. So, do you understand what's happening in Israel at this part of the story?
Bad things are happening.
So a bad king from another country is hurting Israel for 20 years. It was very, very cruel to the people of Israel. Go ahead.
He wasn't a king. He was
He's the general of a king.
Yeah.
So Jabin was very mean to the people of Israel. Okay, he hurt them really bad. So the people were oppressed, is the way we say that, and they called out. And Deborah was already a judge. She was already helping Israel to settle differences between the people. Judges chapter 4, verses 6 through 10. Deborah sent a message to the man named Barak. He was the son of Abin. I can't pronounce it.
Abinom.
Yeah. Barak lived in the city of Kadesh, which is in an area of Naphtali. Deborah said to Barak, "The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you, go and gather 10,000 men of Naphtali and Zebulun. Lead them to Mount Tabor. I will make Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, come to you. Sisera, his chariots, and his army will meet you in Kishon River, and I will help you defeat Sisera there." Then Barak said to Deborah, "I will go if you go with me, but if you will not go, I won't go." So he's scared. It's pretty funny. "Of course, I will go with you," Deborah answered. "But you will not get credit for the victory. The Lord will let a woman defeat Sisera." So Deborah went with Barak to Kadesh. At Kadesh, Barak called the people of Zebulun and Naphtali together, and from them he gathered 10,000 men to follow him, and Deborah went with Barak also. So this big, strong guy is scared unless the lady goes with him. Isn't that kind of funny? I think it's kind of funny. But was Deborah scared?
No.
Not at all, because she trusts God. Let's keep reading. Now, Heber, the Kenite, had left the other Kenite people. The Kenites are the descendants of Hoab, Moses' brother-in-law. Heber had put his tent by the great tree in Zananim, which is near Kadesh. That's close, sorry. Then Sisera was told that Barak, the son of Abinon, had gone to Mount Tabor. So Sisera gathered his 900 iron chariots and all his men with him, and they went from Harosheth to the Kishon River. Then Deborah said to Barak, "Get up. Today is the day the Lord will help you defeat Sisera. You know the Lord has already cleared the way for you." So Barak led 10,000 men down from Mount Tabor. He and his men attacked Sisera and the men. During the battle, the Lord confused Sisera and his army and his chariots, so Barak and his men used their swords to defeat Sisera's army. But Sisera left his chariot and ran away on foot. Barak and his men chased Sisera's chariots and army to Harosheth. They used their swords to kill all of Sisera's men. Not one of them was left alive. So God did an amazing thing. He confused Sisera's army and was a great victory for Barak. So God's in control is what this story is telling us. And it doesn't matter how strong people are. Sisera had this huge army, and chariots were a big deal. It's like the tanks of the ancient world. So they were scary. 900 chariots. Think about 900 cars. Can you imagine how much that is? It's pretty scary. But God confused them, and Barak won. But then Sisera is escaping on foot, and this would be bad if he got away. So let's go ahead and read the story, see what happens next. Let's skip down to verse 19. And Sisera himself ran away, and he came to the tent where Jael lived. She was the wife of Hebner, one of the Kenite family groups. Heber family was at peace with Jabin, king of Hazar, and Jael went out to meet Sisera. She said to him, "Come into my tent, master. Come in. Don't be afraid." So Sisera went into Jael's tent, and she covered him with a rug, so he thinks she's going to hide him. Sisera said to Jael, "I am thirsty. Please give me some water to drink." So she opened a leather bag in which she kept milk and gave him a drink. Then she covered him up. Then Sisera said to Jael, "Go stand at the entrance of the tent. If anyone comes and asks you, 'Is anyone here?' say no." But Jael, the wife of Heber, took a tent peg and a hammer and quietly went to Sisera. since he was very tired and he was sleeping, and she hammered a tent peg through his head into the ground, and so Sisera died. Then Barak came by Jael's tent, and chasing Sisera, Jael went out to meet him and said, "Come, I will show you the man that you are looking for." So Barak entered the tent, and there Sisera lay dead with a tent peg through his head. On that day, God defeated Jabin, king of Canaan, in the sight of all Israel. Israel became stronger and stronger against Jabin, the king of Canaanites, until they destroyed him. It's kind of gross, but the girl won the battle by killing the general.
He just put a tent peg and then took a
Right
hammer
through
and
there.
then just put it right through his
Right
head.
through where?
The temple right there, the soft spot on the side of your head.
She went this way?
Yeah, he was laying down, and so she. Yeah.
That's where your
I'm sure
eyes
that's
are.
gonna hurt.
Well, it killed him.
Right here?
Right here, soft spot right there. Some Bibles say that it drove it through his temple. So, but I think the moral of the story is God can use anybody to do his great victory. And in this case, he used a lady to kill this big, strong guy.
And I can't believe the lady did that.
I know, it's pretty crazy. So we can have confidence to do anything that God asks us to do. So even if it seems crazy to the world, and it doesn't matter if you're little or big or a woman or a man, you just need to trust God and do what he asks you to do. So what do we do if God asks us to do something?
Do it.
Do it. Does it matter if you're a girl or a boy?
No.
No. So girls can do amazing things with God's help, can't they? And Deborah is just one example of an amazing woman in the Bible. Ayla, would you close us with a prayer? Thank you.
God, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Amen. Well, thank you for joining us today for Kids at the PUNLA Coffee Table. I hope you enjoyed this quick little study of Deborah, an amazing woman from the Bible. And there are a lot of amazing women in the Bible, and we're going to talk about some more in the upcoming sessions. And if you like this, if your child, ask your parents, but share it with your friends and ask your parents. If you have any comments for me, if your parents are in agreement, you can email me. There's an email on the screen.
But make sure
If there's a person in the Bible you'd like us to talk about, just send us an email and we'll do our best. So
please remember to
ask your parents. So until next time, from the PUNLA Coffee Table.
God
God bless.